Okay, let's be real. We've all got people in our lives we love, but some conversations, man, they just leave you feeling totally wiped out. So, this is going to be your field guide for figuring out why that happens, and way more importantly, what you can actually do about it. You know that feeling, right? You get off a call or walk away from a chat, and you just feel heavy, tired, annoyed, or just kind of blah. And you can't exactly pinpoint why. It happens to all of us, and we're about to get to the bottom of it. So here's the plan. We're going to dive into 8 common patterns of negative behavior. Now, the goal here isn't to slap labels on people, definitely not. It's about spotting the patterns in how they act. Because once you can see the pattern, you can use some really simple moves to protect your own peace of mind. First up, let's talk about the atmosphere changers. You know the type. They walk into a room and suddenly the whole vibe just shifts. They can poison the well without you even realizing what hit you. Yeah, the complainer. For them, the sky is always about to fall. They have this superpower for finding the one tiny cloud on an otherwise perfect day and just zooming in on it. It's a nonstop broadcast of everything that's wrong, broken, or just not good enough. And what happens? It just sucks your own energy right down with them. So the trick is to not get bogged down in their swamp of problems. You acknowledge it, right? A quick, wow, that sounds really tough, is all you need. Then you pivot. Immediately. Ask, so what do you think you could do about it? That simple question changes everything.
Next in this lovely group is the pessimist. You come up with a brilliant idea and what's the first thing you hear? Nah, that'll never work. They're not just complaining about right now, they're basically predicting doom and gloom for anything in the future, squashing your ideas before they even get a chance to breathe. And man, that can just be a creativity killer, right? It just deflates all your excitement. Look, you're not going to win an argument with them. That's not the point. The point is to build a little shield around your own enthusiasm. You don't have to convince them. You just have to decide, nope, their fear is not my fear. All right, next up, the responsibility shifters. This is a whole different ballgame. These are the folks who have a special talent for making their problems feel like your responsibility. First, we've got the victim. You know the story. Nothing is ever their fault. It's their boss, their landlord, the traffic, the universe. Someone or something is always out to get them. They truly believe they're powerless. And this is such an easy trap to fall into, isn't it? Because it's designed to make you feel guilty, like you should be swooping in to save the day. But here's the key. Offer empathy, not a rescue plan. A simple, I'm sorry you're dealing with that is perfect. You have to remember, their life is not your project to fix. And, of course, the classic energy vampire. This isn't about one big drama. It's more like a slow, constant leak. They always need your attention, your advice, your reassurance. It's a total one-way street where they're just making withdrawals from your emotional bank account and never making a deposit. And this, right here, this is what it feels like. Just think of your energy like a phone battery. You start the conversation at a full 100%, but after talking to them for a bit, you're in the red, down at 15%. That sudden exhaustion is the biggest clue. So that feeling of being totally drained, that's your signal. And the fix has to be super practical. We're talking shorter phone calls, maybe meeting up less often. We're just being really clear about what you can and can't offer them emotionally. You've got to protect your own battery. Okay, let's move on to something a little more intense. Handling direct threats. These are the patterns that can feel like a straight-up personal attack. So the goal here is all about keeping your cool and protecting your sense of self. First up, the criticizer. This is the person who's constantly sizing people up, finding fault, and delivering little jabs. But they'll wrap it up as, just being honest or giving you some helpful feedback. But really, it's often about making themselves feel bigger by making you feel smaller. And wow, can that just wear you down? But here's the most important thing you have to burn into your brain. Their criticism says everything about them and nothing about you. You have to make a conscious choice not to let their voice become your inner critic. All right, now for the angry reactor. Oof, this is the person you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around, right? They're just a ticking time bomb. Quick to get offended, and they can turn a tiny disagreement into a huge fight in a heartbeat with either yelling or that icy passive-aggressive silence. That angry vibe is so contagious.
and it's meant to get a rise out of you, to make you defensive. So, the most powerful move you have, don't take the bait. Don't match their energy. Just take a deep breath, stay calm, keep your voice even. When you don't add fuel to their fire, you'd be surprised how quickly it can burn out. And for our final category, we've got the social saboteurs. Now, these types are a little trickier because their negativity isn't always obvious. It's more sneaky. It works behind the scenes, messing with group dynamics. Yeah, the manipulator is tough because on the surface, they can be incredibly charming. But they have this toolkit of guilt, flattery, and emotional pressure that they use to subtly control you and get what they want. Underneath all that charm, it's all about them. You know you've been manipulated when you walk away thinking, wait a minute, how did I end up agreeing to that? Seeing that pattern is step one. And once you see it, you can start setting those firm boundaries. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain it. And finally, we have the gossip. This is someone who connects with people by talking about other people, usually in a negative way. They get their energy from rumors and drama, and what it really does is just create an atmosphere of mistrust for everyone involved. Okay, so let's put it all together. This is your toolkit. The complainer, you steer them towards solutions. The criticizer, you build a wall and don't let their words in. The victim, you offer empathy, but you don't jump in to save them. The pessimist, you just hold on tight to your own positive outlook. For the manipulator and the energy vampire, it's all about boundaries. And for the gossip and the angry reactor, you just refuse to play their game. See? In every single case, you get to take your power back. Look, spotting these patterns isn't about pointing fingers or judging anyone. It's about giving yourself the power to choose. It's about protecting your peace. So as we wrap up, just think about it for a second. Which one of these patterns sounds a little too familiar in your own life? And what's one tiny thing you can do, starting today, to change that dynamic?